For any stage of any hike, this was amazing. For the final stage of a walk that isn't super established yet, all I can say is wow. From start to finish on the coast to coast, we have been treated to outstanding views, but today, you'll just have to wait and see.
It is day 13 of our coast-to-coast walk across England. We are walking from Grosmont to Robin Hood's Bay. It's our last day of the walk. We left Grosmont at 6:10 in the morning so we can get to Robin Hood's Bay with time to look around.
Lots of baby sheep.
Yeah. Since we left Grosmont, we have been walking directly uphill for 1.2 miles.
The whole time.
Yeah. We finally got a good path. We've gone 2.5 miles a day, and it's been mostly road walking and then a smidge on a rocky path. But now this looks pretty decent. Would like to walk on this for a very long time. Since we missed our breakfast this morning, which was served between 8 and 9, we bought some pastries for the walk. Molly went with the traditional brownie. I'm having a Bakewell tart. What is that?
Olive loaf and cook.
So we're walking through the moors here. We can see the ocean over there. We're kind of walking south. It's kind of nice. You get a feel for where you are. When you're on a lot of these long distance paths, it feels like you're just walking, and you don't get a super good feel for where you are. But here, we do, because there's the ocean, the North Sea. When we were up yesterday at Blakey Ridge, the heather wasn't blooming, but down here it's starting to a little bit. Bright purple. Our first town of the day is Littlebeck in the North York Moors National Park. They have these flooding signs here along the river. We've seen this a couple of places where the road goes very low. In the U.S., national parks don't really have towns in them or anything because, for the most part, the national park was made before people inhabited the area. There are exceptions to that, but that's often true. But here, of course, these places were inhabited long before the concept of national parks came into existence, and so there are towns in national parks. There's been a decent amount of this situation on the coast to coast. And in general, this isn't that big a deal, except these things are full of stinging nettle. So this is a shelter dug out of a giant piece of rock in 1790. It's a pretty path through here. This particular part is soft on the feet. Overall, it hasn't been real easy on the feet in this section, but this part certainly is. Coast to coast, to the right. That's us. We do see an occasional coast to coast sign. They're in the process of signposting the trail, and they're going to need about 100 times more signs than what they currently have. There would be no possible way to get through this trail and end up at the right spot each day without GPS tracks. So there's a river way down there, and we can hear people playing in it.
Oh, I can see some.
Oh yeah. So that is the Falling Foss. Probably a fraction of what it usually is, but it's still pretty. Ordinarily, when the water's not so low, I bet that's a nice place to take a swim. water was higher, that would be interesting. I didn't fall. And I didn't even have my trekking poles. All right, goodbye, forest. Do a little road walking. It was pretty in there. That was definitely the prettiest part of the walk so far today. We've gone a little over 6 miles now. None of us is just a bundle of energy. So we've noticed that when we don't eat the English breakfast, we don't have as much energy. But if you have the English breakfast at these places, and almost all the places we've stayed are bed and breakfast, that's mostly what's available on this route, you don't get out of there till 9 or 9:30. And when you have a short day, that's no problem. When you have a long day, that puts you in really late. These guys are big and they have long hair. A little past 7 miles. We're south of Whitby now. You can see the ocean up there in front of us. I don't know how well it's showing up, but we can see it clearly. It really doesn't seem like we're that far from it, but we're not supposed to hit it for at least another 4 or 5 miles. So we must be going to turn pretty severely to the south because we can't go a lot more to the east. This is the trail. All right, we'll find it. Maybe this is not the trail. Now this is the trail. You can probably see how this is confusing. We see the gate we're aiming for. So we've seen this several times over several different days on this trail. When you get through a real boggy area, the trail kind of disappears. And you have to just try to find where it picks back up, so I can see it picks back up over there. And then figure out how to get there, because it's kind of a free-for-all in those areas of however people figured they could get across the bog to the trail. And it probably depends on conditions, which is the best way. Because these bogs, you can sink in them. I think the last bit of today's trail is probably going to be pretty fun. The first few miles of today's trail were kind of boring. It's gotten better almost every mile. Just the scenery's getting better. And we're getting closer. We're close to 8.5 miles in. So we're over halfway. Other than wayfinding, the bogs have not been very challenging for us because they're not very wet. But there have been a lot of bogs today. So be aware, your last day is you're not flying through it. So footpath to Cleveland Way, coast to coast. Follow yellow waymark signs. Here's our stop, which is the Coast Cafe Bar. Right there. We're going to take a stop. We've gone 11.97, basically 12 miles without a stop. So we're excited to see the Coast Cafe Bar. This is only the third cat we've seen the whole trek. She's a good cat. We've lost focus. So only 3 cats, but that one counts for a bunch. I think we probably go down here. It's our first view of the coast. It's pretty dramatic. I'll tell you too, the temperature out here has really dropped.
It's
cold.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got to get moving because it's cold out here. That was a good stop. Good pick me up. Very clean place, clean bathroom, and we got there before 12. We just had a snack, but they started serving food at 12, and I saw what they were serving people, and it looked good. I smell the salt of the ocean. This is kind of this stretch is the first time we've been able to really smell it. We're a little over 13 miles from the start today, and I think we're committed to walking along the coast now. Probably not gonna go too far back inland. This is really beautiful to walk along here. We're estimating we have 2 miles left, maybe 2.5. We're not really sure about that part, but honestly, I could walk along here for a long time. My head is willing, my heart is willing, my feet are ready to be done. This is stunning coastline. Wow. This trip definitely has a spectacular finish. Well, we're not done, but we should be 2 miles or less left. Don't know what Molly's going to do the next few days without sheep, but I have a feeling when we get out to the West Highland Way, they'll be back. Hello.
Manipulation.
It's all about the finish. And this has got a great one. We're going in with these cattle. Hello, guys. The last 3 miles of this trail, so we're used to finishing caminos, and the last 3 miles are like through the suburbs of Santiago. Here, there's nobody here. There's not a lot of people on the trail. The views, absolutely stunning. The trail, perfect. And we're about to enter a really cute town, probably without ugly suburbs. So,
And the navigation, extremely easy.
yeah, hard to get lost along here. So they are really working hard to make this our favorite. We're not even done, and I can say this is my favorite end of a trail we've ever done.
I prefer the end of the sunset.
Did you?
There was just more emotion attached to that, I think.
Oh, there was a lot more emotion, but just the physical.
Oh yeah, I liked that better.
And before we knew it, we were walking down the hill in Robin Hood's Bay, meeting up with our friends and seeing a number of the people we had met along the trail.
Hi guys.
How to? Yes! How we doing? Amazing. Well done. Superb.
Great job, man.
Days. Well done. Well done. Amazing. Great job. Where did you set off from this morning? This morning we started at Grosmont.
Way to go! Those are our rocks. But cheers.
Since my mom and I were unable to complete every stage of the Coast to Coast, we were worried this ending might feel anticlimactic, but it definitely did not. With the consistently beautiful views, end-of-walk traditions, and getting to see all of our fellow hikers, this stage really swept us away. My dad was super excited about finishing the whole walk, so we made sure to celebrate him tons before we moved on to the next stage of this year's adventure. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.